you doing? How's
Uh,
everything?
it's going. It's been a struggle. 2021 has been a struggle with just life in general. But you know what? You get up the next day and you're positive and you keep going and you figure it out. And you know, not every day can be great. And not every situation is great. And it's just perspective, right? It's how you deal with what's being thrown at you. And
Tell me about it.
yeah,
What is the struggle? Tell me about your struggle.
yeah. So, three deaths in 3 weeks, in the family. So my ex-wife's mom passed away, and
I'm
two of my,
sorry.
yeah, thank you. And then two of my mom's best friends passed away within like 2 weeks. And it's just the reality of life, right? It's just like so fragile, and it's all about relationships. So, and it's how people deal with death, and it's how their perspective on death and the perspective on the relationships that they had with people prior. And so some people mourn death, and other people celebrate death because they had such, in my mom's case, she had such strong relationships with these two people. They meant so much to her. And so yes, she was sad, but she was also celebrating what a blessing it was to have those people in her life. And so it's, and I find that, like, so my mom's 87, right? But her perspective is so amazing. She could have she could have said, oh my God, these people passed, I'm 87, what is it about me? And no, and instead she just took it in a whole different direction and said, I was so fortunate to have these people in my life. We had such great times, and it was a beautiful thing, and life goes on, and I still have my family. And so I just find perspective and gratitude really drive you forward, and it just makes you, I think we had talked about it. For so long, I would just fall back into that, right? If there was bad, it would annihilate me. Like I wouldn't even want to move, right? And now it's, all right, the situation sucks, but what can I do? What's the good that's coming out of this? And that's moving me forward. So, and I always love to hear your perspective on things as well.
First of all, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. But
Thanks.
one thing that helped me, one thing that I've learned from my mentor was that, you know, it's all attraction, right? And I'm gonna use what I teach from based of law of attraction. Whatever you want it has a pull. The thing that you want and the lack of it, right?
Yeah.
And as humans, the human in us, we tend to focus on the lack. Like, I want the money, but I don't focus on having it. I focus on lack of it, and that's
Right.
normal, right? That's the human
Sure.
again.
Yep.
The same thing. I took that and I applied it to my loss because I went through such a hard time, and when I was almost out of the woods, I lost the woman who raised me, my grandmother, and I understood in that moment that I went through everything to get to that moment because I was dealing with it in such a way that nobody even expected. Like, when she died, everybody freaked out for me because uh, I actually gave her the nickname "You are the mother." She was my mother.
Yeah.
Like that's how close I was to
Yeah.
her. And I was so calm and so cool because I learned one thing out of everything that happened to me was that you have to look where they are. And I'm going to tell you this. She loved the color maroon, and she was so much into birds, right? Every time, like every time I'm sitting and I'm thinking of her, I've had birds
Bird.
flying into my apartment, like really these small hummingbirds, right? They're
Yeah.
mockingbird humming, flying with the maroon like feather. And because it talks to me, and I always look where she is. And I know when you lose someone, it's so hard. But
Yep.
guys, remember, it's so easy to feel bad. It's so easy to be negative when everything is bad, when we focus on bad. Hi,
Bad.
Ariel. but it's hard work to train your mind and your emotions to look where to look for good,
Good for good. Yeah.
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
for example, I'm not a religious person, but I've read a lot of religious texts, and I believe in people's belief, right? Look at when Jesus turns the other cheek. It's not because he wants you to slap his other cheek. No, look at it this way. When something bad happens, look the other way, because on the other way, turn your other cheek, because
Cheek.
there's
Yep.
always so much beauty. Like you lose someone, look on the other way. You have your mother, you have this time, it
That's right.
makes you
Yeah.
understand, it makes you appreciate the time you have
Appreciate it. Well, that's it.
your
It makes you
mother, right?
appreciate the time. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Because so often we just take things for granted. And, I say it all the time, tomorrow is assumed, but not guaranteed, right? So,
exactly.
you need to, um, sorry, there's a call came in. So you need to embrace what's in front of you, and you
Exactly.
need it, and it's all, you just need to say, you know what, it's here, I'm going to deal with it, and I'm going to get through it. And life sucks sometimes. I mean, there's no way around it. Sometimes bad things happen, and you just have to try to the best of your ability to get through that and figure out how to put yourself in that better position. So yeah, it
Exactly.
and like I said, as bad as this month has been, there's good in it. There's still good, right? So on the
You
flip
opened
side,
your eyes. You opened your
yeah,
eyes
yeah,
today,
no, absolutely. I mean, just an example. So my sister's birthday was Tuesday. My son's birthday was Wednesday. My niece's
Exactly.
birthday was yesterday.
Oh my
I
God.
have, right? And my son's best friend, they had a baby on Saturday. So it's
Oh, that is
all this,
beautiful.
right? So as sad as all the death was, there's all this joy and there's all this happiness, right? And so where do you go with it? Where do you kind of focus your energies? And if you focus your energies on the beauty of all these people that are in your life, you know what? It's the circle of life. And that's really, the sad part is this baby was born after all these people died. And so
That's the beauty of life.
that's the beauty of life, right? And so that's the perspective that you have to take. So, that's kind of where I am. But I did want to talk to you about, I saw you posted this morning about 7 things, right? And I would love to hear about that.
Well, this I'm gonna tell why I did what I did. Like this past couple of days, I mean, like the last 10 days of my life, I've been through so much emotion because I'm letting go of, so I have to let go of so many things. And it was been always about letting go, right? But
Yep.
and something, we always think, like, I coach people, I go through people that have problems about letting go of hatred, letting go of their anger, letting go of, no, these are hard, but the hard part is letting go of the places that you love, of the people that you love. So I'm in the stage in my life that I've completely healed. At
Yep.
18 months ago, 20 months ago, I set up this journey of healing myself, and I'm completely healed, and now it's time for me to evolve.
Right.
and
Yep.
and the place that I'm in, where I am, it's not aligned. I love it, but it's just not aligned with who I am, right?
Yep.
And that was the hard thing. I've been thinking about moving, for a long time, but I've decided that I'm going to move. And that was really hard because I've, like, I've grown, I have the best neighbors ever. Like, this building is a magical building. I found my, like, really my best friend, the people that, like, I don't know anything about, they don't know anything about me, but they're my family, they're my
Emily.
friends. And
Yep.
yeah, and then, I dreamt about Gold's Gym, Mecca of bodybuilding, to
Yep.
go there and train. And then I healed myself through those, those walls. But now, it's just not aligned with me. And that was the hardest thing that I had to do. Yesterday, like, I was crying. First of all, it took me 1 week to walk into that place and cancel
Place.
my
Yep.
membership. Second of all, I was like crying, but And yesterday I did a post and Elaheh where I was like so emotional. But again, it's part of, I promised myself that I'm going to live as I preach, and live as I preach is I'm going to be me at any time. And
Yep.
and also I got, I always get so much love from everybody, and a lot of people told me, oh, we're disappointed, you're human after all. And I was just like, of course I'm human, I'm building this human. I just made this story right before I come on here. So the whole thing, this whole thing was a build up, and I was thinking about, again, letting go and freedom. The moment, it took me 10 days. It was this build up, and moving too. Like, it's been for months, but I decided 1 o'clock in 1 o'clock in the morning. In the morning, I found a place. I found a location. I'm moving. I'm not gonna. And that's the thing. When you let go, when somebody, for example, when you let go, you open space for other new things to come in.
That's right. That's right.
I was so lucky that I found I never thought I would find a place. I would find a place better, more loving, or I would find a gym that I would call home than goals. But at Dave's powerhouse, he's first of all, he's the bravest guy I've ever met. He opened his gym all through this pandemic. He made it home for us. He's so loyal. He's so supportive. Every morning when I walk in there, I really feel this is home.
Home.
I had to let go of something that will always be my home. But I moved on. I'm evolving. So sometimes, but the 10 days that I went through, even for me, even for someone who's teaches and preaches this, it is hard. It is hard to let go of the thing that you love, and the human in you, our logical brain, try to hold on. Like, what if I'm wrong? I love this place.
Right.
But that's the thing. I went through a life, and thank God that I went through the decade that I went through, because I became this woman that I am today. And again, it's hard, but it's doable. Most of the time, the things that you're holding on so tight, you're lying to ourselves. We are lying to ourselves because of love. Don't do things for love. Don't do things because of love. Do things out of love. And
That's right. That's right.
For yourself, most of all for yourself. I knew if I stay here, I'm gonna be miserable. And I could see it in myself. I've been observing myself the past couple of months. I'm not as calm, as grounded, because I just can't. There's this space is too small for me. This place is not aligned with who I am. So,
you have that anxiety that kind of takes over, and it kind of changes your perspective and changes your mindset when you have all that anxiety.
Exactly. And if you don't, if you don't let go, if you're not free, you cannot evolve. And that's
right.
The next chapter of my life is evolving. From today, from like yesterday, actually, there's no healing. There's evolving.
There's evolving.
Yes. So that's why I made that, because, I'm all about self-love and freedom.
Yep.
And in order to be free, we really have to let go of that ego. And again,
yes.
The ego is not a bad thing if you know how to use it.
If you know how to use it, and you use it the right way. Yes.
Exactly. So first of all, I think the first one was seeking love out of people or places. I know, remind me if I'm right, or outside of you. You have everything. We really have everything inside of us. And sometimes, sometimes I do these posts that some people think it's weak, but it's not. I want to show you guys that it's okay to cry. I cry. Everybody cries. It's okay it's hard. It's not, none of us, like, again, I hear that a lot from people that, oh, it's so easy for you. No, it's never easy.
It's never easy.
Yeah.
It's even hard. I think for 1 second, I got to fix something. Oh, tell me I didn't lose you.
No, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay.
Now you're back.
Okay, good.
You were saying.
one of the things that I'm trying to help people with, especially guys, is to allow themselves to show emotion, because guys have been programmed for so long, and the stereotype is you guys can't show emotion. It's not cool for a guy to cry. But the reality is we're all human. Male or female, we're still human, and we still have those emotions. And there are times that the only way you can truly free yourself is through tears. And you have to let that out. And so many guys that I talk to are like, oh, no, that's not cool. No, I'm not going to cry. How much weaker can I be if I cry? And I'm like, I wish you were here so I can smack you in the head and tell you, no, you can't. It is okay. And it's like, but I have found over the past couple months that it's like this huge movement of people that just aren't willing to free themselves and to show emotions. And it's amazing to me.
First of all, we all are emotional creatures.
We are, absolutely.
Our emotions are like newsflash, are like they are coming and going to show us, to tell us something. So pay attention to your emotions.
Pay attention to your emotions.
For you guys, for all the guys that think it's weak, I have to tell you something. I personally, I don't think anything is more hotter and sexier as a woman when a man, a real man, like, you know, if I feel if a man shows emotion or cry, and I have some of my clients, we have the same thing, and that in that moment I feel this guy is so secure with himself.
That's right.
He's so secure with his masculinity. He's
so secure with
who he is, that he's showing emotion. And it's not just me. I work with tons of men and women. As women, I can promise you, showing emotion is one of the most beautiful thing. And I'm saying, you know, I'm one of those people. If I see a beautiful guy, I will go and tell the guy, you're fucking damn beautiful, shamelessly, because we have to show appreciation for who we are, who we see. So I'm not saying go and cry all the time. None of us do that. But showing emotion is a strength. Be brave enough. Have courage enough to be you at any time.
So, I completely agree.
I love that about you. You know, one of the things that I really love that about you is because you're doing something. You're doing something really big, you know. And we never know the effect that we have on people. And I promise you, the effect that you have on people is a lot. And it's getting better and better. But again, I love it. I personally love it when a man shows emotion. I was just like, marry me now. No, I don't. I don't. But it is a beautiful thing. So
and I think in these times that we're in right now is so many people are trapped in their emotions, and they don't even know how to process their emotions right now because there's so many things going on at the same time. And how do you know, what gets prioritized, right? What emotion do I prioritize? Is it anger? Is it fear? Is it depression? Is it, and you know, what we saw over the past couple of weeks politically, and the divisions that it brings to people, and people don't even know how to manage that anymore. You know, I was talking to a friend the other day, and I said, I literally, not that I'm a big Facebook person anymore, because I'm not, I never really liked Facebook, but I've probably deleted 20 people over the past week just because I don't want to read it anymore. I don't want to read your hate. I don't want it. If you are that angry, it's not just politics that has you. There's something else that has you that angry, because these are people that are well educated and they're, you know, well employed, and you would think like model citizens, and yet they write these posts of hatred. I mean, it's the only way that I can say it. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't need you in my life. And so see you bye. And it's, it's a virtual it's a virtual divorce almost, because you're really letting them go and you're saying, as much as I like you, I can't live with you and I can't live with your beliefs. So, that I think has also helped me, is focusing on who really is important in my life and who do I want in my life, who's going to benefit me and my emotions. And that's the pocket of people that I want. And I think for me, that's why Instagram is so important. And we're all virtual, unfortunately. And I talk to people all the time and say, I can't wait till I can hug you when this is all over. And, because it's really important. But when you have that community around you that is common and has the common thoughts and the common opinions, and it's not that we can't disagree or shouldn't disagree about certain things, but that's normal. But
Exactly.
it's the positivity that we all need right now. And so, I tell people all the time, I actually started a meetup group here in the town that I live in for divorced people, because the other thing that I'm seeing is that people are being alienated by the word divorce. And there's still this stereotype and this stigma around divorce. And so one day I woke up and I said, you know what? I think I'm going to start a meetup group and I want to see what happens. And within like 3 days, I had 30 people that joined and said, oh my God, thank you. This is so cool. We need this. And it's all about community. And so that's what I'm really seeing. And so I want to make 2021 like a year of community and bring people together. And those people that don't fit in the community, see you bye. But I think that's the only way we're going to get through this.
The one that don't fit, they will leave themselves. One thing. But one thing that you did that is beautifully, I always say, you have to master the art of ignoring everything that bothers you, and it doesn't come naturally, guys. I personally, I think I've mastered it 99%. Sometimes I do, but the thing is, it's a practice that you do day in, day out, day in, day out. But the best thing I did, and it all started with deleting CNN off my phone. That was the first thing I did. 3 years ago, 4 years, way before I got out of that life. And then Twitter. And now, to be honest with you, I don't even know what's going on. Not that I don't care. The thing is, I cannot control. So
that's right.
Even if my mother, my mother, she had stopped. Like, I think she was the last one that gave up completely 2 weeks ago. The moment she started asking me about news, whatever happened, blah, 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 I go, welcome to United Kingdom of Elaheh. I don't read news. I don't talk about news. And it didn't start this. I was addicted. For 20 years, every morning, I would spend 30 minutes on CNN, going up to that, and then Twitter. I lived the hell. I made my life hell.
That's right. Yeah.
Even for me, the moment I start watching, sometimes I do. Sometimes I go on YouTube. Sometimes I don't have a TV. I watch, and after 5-6 minutes, I feel like my heart is pounding, and then I do it. Why I do it? Because I want to understand the fear that I see. I feel, I see it in their eyes.
Nice, yeah.
I'm going to tell you guys, you can wear your mask, wash your hands, but when you look at each other, look at each other. Smile with your eyes. I see, like, people avoid. I personally believe there is a virus, but this mask is only for control, because one thing we have is a voice, and this mask is taking that away from us.
Right.
So even if you want to wear that mask, talk with your eyes. When you see each other, smile with your eyes. That's so sad. One of the reasons I love this place that I live in, but one of the reasons that I let go of it, because people in this area, that's all I can say. But in order to be grounded, my only suggestion is start one step at a time. Instead of watching 10 hours of news, make it 9. Week 1, week 2. But like, I have people, again, all my clients around me, the first thing I tell them, cut the news.
Cut the
All of
news.
them, 100% of them tell me after 3, 4 weeks, oh my God,
My
my
God,
life is
right?
so much better.
I'm telling you.
Again, I'm not saying to deny what's going on around us.
Right.
Yes, a lot of things. But what can you do? If you're not happy with you, if you cannot, the only person you can control, the only thing you can control is your feelings.
Yes.
If you're into control. But by sitting, watching the news, and then we focus, the more you focus on one thing, the more you put your attention, the more it will come to you. Focus on
Yeah.
good.
Well, I was going to say, because you're so right, because when the pandemic started and I was working from home, I was glued to the television and I was just watching it hour after. And I was like terrified because I was so consumed by it. And then I woke up one day and said, I can't do this. This is overwhelming me. So I turned it off. And now I watch the local news for a half hour, and then I get my news, I find out what's, and then off, done. I can't
I
because,
promise you, it will come a day you won't even do that, because I was there too. It will come a day you just don't, because first of
and
all,
I'm
it's
okay
all
with that.
lies. It's all lies. It is lies. But second of all, you cannot do anything.
You have no, there's only so much you can control, right? And
Exactly.
and so you have to be in your bubble, and you have to be smart. Sandra and I and we go out all the time, but we're smart. We keep our distance. If we go inside and it's crowded, it's just common sense, right? I mean, it's
Exactly.
it's it's all common sense and how you handle yourself and how you handle the situation. And that's the other point, you were making about the news is it drives a stake through people. It drives the stake. You're either on one side of the fence or you're on the other side, and it only enhances what side you're on. And so that's why it is so important to back away from the news and make your own judgments, make your own perspectives, be smart about what you're doing, and just live your life. You know what? Just live your life. And it is terrible. What people are going through is horrible for all those impacted. And my heart goes out for those people impacted. But for those, we still have to live. We still have to live for tomorrow, and we still have to be smart about how we live our lives and just be so appreciative that you and I can have this conversation because it's such a blessing to be able to come on with you and talk to you, and you are my light, you are my inspiration, you really are. So
It's the same thing. The same
I
thing.
feel bad that I don't know, month, maybe more that we've spoken, and we can't let that happen again
No,
because
it will actually. I will actually make it a monthly thing with you, actually, because
yeah.
remember I did on Wednesday. I did live with one of my colleagues, but I'm gonna do like four Wednesday, like 4 times a month, but each month with different
Oh,
people. I
that's
will.
great.
Yeah, I will bring my own coach. I changed my coach, so we're working very closely together, and we're
Yep.
building something. And he's aligned with my life purpose. I'm aligned with him. It's just like more than just bodybuilding. So we're building something. And then there are other coaches that I'm working with. There are other women, men. So I want to do the monthly thing, and I will let you know probably like right now. I'm very busy. I'm doing a children's book, by the way,
Are
that it
you
will come.
really?
Yeah, it's not mine. It's one of my dear friend. She's an amazing writer, and it was a passion project. I'm doing the illustration and the layout. Yeah, so I'm very busy with getting that out to the end of
That's
this
so
month.
cool.
Yeah, and it's really cool. I'm very passionate about it. And then I'm finishing up my own book that I've set a date on it. It's going to be on March 3rd. So
Oh,
I'm gonna
good.
yeah I'm gonna put it out for print at that time. So I've been like so much
So what's
busy
going
with.
on?
Yeah, that's all. Like it was moving on. I'm moving from this place. I thank God I don't own much. So the only thing that I have, which I love, is my bed. Everybody knows I love my bed. So thank God it's just a mattress. So I'm just gonna take my mattress, my computers, and like shoes. everything else. So it's an easy move. And but like I'm building my body, like I'm always in
Yep.
prep. That's like it's always in transformation. But I want to do a monthly thing with us.
Please, yeah.
And yeah, we have to. I really, I really believe in what you're doing, what we are doing.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to tell everyone, I always do, find one thing. One thing for me is really bodybuilding, and it's more than bodybuilding. It's me, it's who I am.
It's who you are.
But
Yeah.
because this is what I always wanted, find the thing that sets your soul on
Full on
fire
fire. Yep.
and go do it. And if you don't know what it is, because again, I'm a dream builder, but part of my job is to teach people how to dream. And I ask this at least 5 to 6 times a day from different people, from my client, people who I give free session. I always give free sessions. So if you want, there's no string attached. 45-minute free session. Always DM me. I'll make time for you. These days, I actually can make time because some of the session I just do it on Instagram, like
Yep.
what we're doing right now. So a lot of us, we don't know how to dream. So part of my job is to teach you how to dream.
That's cool. That's so cool.
For example, I ask people, what would make you happy?
Happy. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. The first thing they tell me is the thing that they think makes them happy. But then I put them through something different. What I do is a process, it's a system. I put them through that system, and then they burst out and they come alive. Even they get surprised. Recently, I recorded because I want them to listen to themselves.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
I asked the guy, like, what would make you happy? Oh, I would be happy if I had this, like, for example, this truck, and I would drive this way. Okay. And then I put him, the same guy, what would make you happy? I want to be a singer. And now he's actually seems like he's going to be a singer, right? So I'm just telling you. And even if you don't want, again, I'm not for everyone, but get a coach. Get
a coach. Yep.
Who can, if you are very, really into transforming yourself, changing your life, into evolving, into being better people, better version of you, even better version.
Be happy. Yep.
Exactly. Whoever we are, whoever you are, you're beautiful. You're perfect with all of your imperfections. But I know you all are dealing with so much shit. But sometimes you are in it. You come to me or someone like me. I'm outside. I look at you. And I just move stuff around, and you can see that, oh, it wasn't that
flourishes.
bad.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes you just need someone to look at another perspective. And you all know, whatever I tell you, whatever any other coach tells you, you all know it is just a reminder. So I would suggest write it down. Always write it down.
Always write it down.
Yeah, because when we write down, a lot of things comes out, even for us, even for me. Again, this is my job. I made the living out of loving myself. I made a business out of my own transformation. I made a business. I make money out of my own transformation, right? So even for me, that is a second nature. I still write down every morning, every night. And things comes out. And believe me, there's only one path, and we're all on that one path. So focus on yourself. Don't worry about the person who's next to you. Don't worry about the one you love. Don't worry about the one you've lost. Just focus on you. And that means whatever happened, if you look at me and you don't like me, focus on you. Ask yourself, why am I not liking her? Or why am I jealous of that person? Ask the hard question of yourself and be willing to be surprised. And remember also this, nobody is here to judge you.
That's right.
Not as a coach, not as a friend, not as anyone. My job is not to judge you. And if you don't judge you, nobody will. So,
nobody will. That's right. Absolutely.
Practice. The person that you are today, Lauren, like how many, we've known each other for like at least 8 months, right? Are you the person you were last time we talked?
Oh, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. No, every day is a journey. Every day is a transformation. Every day, because to your point, I'm now allowing myself to grow, and I'm allowing myself to transform, and I'm allowing myself to fail with no reservations. There's
Exactly.
no stigma around if I do something and fail, all right, I learned, I'm going to move on and I'm going to do it, not do it the next time. When you
Beautiful.
internally judge yourself and you hold yourself so accountable that you're not willing to take a chance, you're not willing to fail, you're not willing to try, you are damaging your ability to live your life and to move forward because you're so afraid of the stereotype that, oh, you're a failure, you did something wrong, you're not good enough, look at you don't make enough money, you don't have a nice house. Who cares if you internally are happy and you achieve what you've wanted to accomplish? That's all that matters. And as you grow and as you expand, that begins to resonate with other people, and they start to see the transformation, and that comes back to you, and then it's this wonderful circle of, as you grow and others see your growth, now you're helping them as well, because now they're seeing, oh my God, look at what he did, look at the chance he took and what it meant. Now maybe I can try that, and it gives other people the confidence to try. So even unconsciously, you're helping others by helping yourself. And that's what I've learned. And that's the difference from 8 months ago or 6 months ago when we met, is the willingness to allow myself to transform. And that is,
Exactly.
I think that's what we need to help other people do, because it puts you in such a better place.
That is so beautiful, for someone who I always say, I always make fun of myself. I grew up with a God complex. Come on. My parents named me Elaheh, and that means goddess, and my last name is Savior Nejat. So I grew up thinking I was sent here to do something to save people. So that was the huge God complex that I grew up with. Again, it's a joke. And I always, I struggled because I believed that I was sent here to save people. But one thing I understood one day, that none of us, none of us need saving. None of us. Yes, we do need to heal. We need to evolve, but we don't need to save anyone. Our only job on this planet is to be happy.
That's it. Be happy.
Your only job is you, your human you, being aligned with your heart, your soul,
That's
your
right.
source you. And the moment you're happy, because I lived that, I lived in a life where I said, if I have this house, I will be happy. If I have this car, and I had it all. I
Yep.
had it all. Like, I can say I've done it all, I've had it all. But in the second, I left everything behind because I was miserable. And
Right.
now I only have a mattress and I'm happy. And also Zella. Not that I can have, like, I actually can have more, but I just, if I want something, it's not because it will make me happy, because I'm just happy. Okay, I
You're
can
happy.
have it. If I don't. But it happened because at one point of my life, I gave up. I was broken. I broke. I basically
Broke.
broke.
Yep.
So
Right.
I give up. I gave up everything. And I just sat with myself and I
Yep.
started paying attention because I wanted to know
That's it.
what made me hate myself to go through that, right? So I
Yep.
started paying attention. And that's the thing with life. You can only live forward, but understand your life backward, right? You
Backward.
have to go
Yep.
through. So the more I sat with myself, and that's why meditation is so important.
So important.
The
Yep.
the more I observed myself, I noticed that, first of all, whatever happened to me was brought on me by me.
But
I was the creator of everything. Second of all, the more I was sitting and I wasn't doing any, for example, I wanted to go talk to this person, I would say no. And that was the hardest thing that I've learned, by the way. Even now, I do the same thing. I want to do something, I tell myself, it's okay, sit.
yep.
You don't need to, it will come to you. And it will. The happiness that I was chasing all my life came to me when I gave up and I sat. and I
Yep.
let go. And and
Absolutely.
and I just noticed I'm happy. I don't have anything. I'm happy. And then I looked up and I saw that I was sitting in a place that I always dreamt about without even noticing.
No, noticing it. Yep.
So my thing is learn to sit with yourself. Just sit with yourself with
No,
whatever
sure.
you're feeling. You're angry, sit with your anger. Don't blame it on others. You're
Nope.
mad, sit, because there's always, and one other thing that I'm trying to do, I'm trying to broaden my vocabulary of emotion,
Yep.
because when you're angry, there's never, the reason is never anger. Anger
Anchor.
is just the
Right.
first peel, right?
Right.
So
Absolutely. Yeah.
sit sit with yourself and ask the hard question with yourself. And I believe a lot of us that are, I was addicted to news, I was addicted to people's problem. Why? Because my life was so, I was so miserable
Yep.
that I couldn't look inside myself.
Yourself.
So
Yeah.
instead of focusing on my misery, I would want to go and try to fix other people.
Other people.
And
Yeah.
the thing is, when you get into the habit of pleasing others, it will never end and it will destroy you. So
It would destroy
please
you. Yeah.
you. Yeah, get into the please you.
Please
Pay
yourself.
attention
Take
to
care of
you.
yourself.
Yes,
That's right.
exactly,
That's right.
exactly.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Great. Well, thank you for being here today. I missed
Thank
you. I'm
you.
so
I
glad
miss
that
you
that.
so much too. So much. And let's do this. Like again, I will keep in
Absolutely.
touch. I love you. I don't know you, but I love you. I love what you're doing. And you are my inspiration. You and people like you. And, we're going to get through this.
Yeah, absolutely, we
And
will.
yeah,
I'm telling you,
we
one
will.
day we are going to do that real hug instead of the virtual hug.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you
Okay,
so much. I
thanks.
love you so much.
Love you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.